Hello, welcome back to the channel. Have you subscribed? If no, please subscribe and let's start. Julius Malema is a political force in South Africa, known for his bold leadership of the economic freedom fighters. His public persona is defined by confrontation and charisma, but there's a lesser-known story that links him to ancient history. This story claims Malema's ancestry stretches back thousands of years to the lost tribes of Israel, a narrative both surprising and controversial. The idea of African leaders with ancient Israelite roots isn't new. It's part of a broader quest to understand Africa's complex migrations and heritage. These theories challenge colonial narratives and offer a sense of global belonging, but they also blur the line between history and myth. In Malema's case, the so-called Moshavi Revelation has brought these claims into the spotlight, adding intrigue to his already public life. We'll explore the origins of this revelation, the oral histories behind it, and the arguments for and against Malema's supposed ancient lineage. The journey includes the Lemba people, whose claims of Jewish ancestry have fascinated scientists and historians alike. We'll hear from both believers and skeptics, weighing the evidence and the power of these stories. Ultimately, this is about more than one man's family tree. It's about how history shapes identity and politics in modern Africa. The debate over Malema's lineage is a window into what it means to be African today. Ancient narratives, whether proven or not, can shape identity and influence politics. They remind us that the stories we tell about our past can redefine our place in the world. The Moshavi Revelation isn't an ancient text, but a modern theory rooted in oral traditions and local histories. Moshavi comes from Hebrew, meaning settlement, and is used to give the theory an air of authenticity. The claim leaders in Limpopo, including Malema's ancestors, descend from ancient Israelites who migrated to southern Africa centuries ago. The story suggests these Israelites left their homeland during times of turmoil, journeyed through Egypt, and settled in southern Africa, maintaining distinct customs. The theory gained traction in the late 20th century, pieced together by local historians using oral history, clan names, and cultural practices. Proponents point to similarities in clan names, dietary laws, and burial customs among the Pedi and Venda as echoes of a Jewish past. The Moshavi Revelation is presented as a recovered history, not a myth, an alternative narrative that predates European arrival. It offers local communities a grand lineage and connects them to a global saga. The idea reframes ancestors as bearers of a sacred tradition, not just migrants. This narrative challenges colonial views and proposes a rich, ancient story of migration and survival. It's a powerful idea, giving communities a sense of historical depth and significance, but it remains a modern construction built from fragments and interpretation. The debate continues: is it history or myth given new life? Across Africa, oral traditions speak of ancestors from the north, stories passed down through generations. In southern Africa, among the Venda, Pedi, and Lovedu, these tales are especially vivid. Leaders like Mwali led migrations from the north, with stops at places like Great Zimbabwe. These stories include cultural markers, unique circumcision practices, dietary laws, and Sabbath-like days of rest that echo Jewish customs. The Lemba people's oral history is particularly detailed, claiming descent from Jewish men who left Judea 2,500 years ago, traveled through Yemen, and sailed down Africa's east coast. They speak of Sina, their city of origin and a sacred object, the Ngoma Lungundu, reminiscent of the biblical Ark of the Covenant. For the Lemba and others, these aren't just folk tales, they're the foundation of identity and social cohesion. These stories explain origins, provide moral guidance, and distinguish communities. The Lemba have preserved their customs despite pressures to assimilate, using their oral history as a source of pride. Such traditions insist that African history is part of a global narrative of migration and perseverance. These oral histories are the bedrock for modern claims like the Moshavi Revelation. They blur the line between myth and memory, offering both cultural meaning and tantalizing hints of historical truth. For many, these stories are more than history, they're a living link to a distant past. They shape how communities see themselves and their place in the world. Whether literal or symbolic, these traditions endure. They fuel the ongoing search for identity and belonging. The Lemba people are the most studied example of claimed Israelite heritage in Africa. Their oral history is unwavering. They descend from Jewish men who migrated from the Middle East. Lemba customs, dietary restrictions, kosher-like slaughter and endogamy set them apart from neighbors. In the 1990s, geneticists found that many Lemba men carry the Cohen-Modal haplotype, a marker common among Jewish priests. This discovery provided scientific support for their oral traditions, especially within the priestly Buba clan. The DNA evidence doesn't prove they're a lost tribe, but it does confirm a Semitic, likely Jewish male ancestry. The Lemba story shows that oral traditions can preserve real historical memory. It challenges the idea that African societies were isolated before colonialism, revealing a history of migration and interaction. The Lemba case inspires other groups to seek scientific validation for their own oral histories. It gives weight to broader claims like the Moshavi Revelation, making the improbable seem possible. The Lemba's journey is a powerful symbol of identity, resilience, and the enduring link between past and present. Their story bridges myth and science, reshaping how African history is understood. It's a precedent that continues to spark debate and curiosity. Claims about Julius Malema's Israelite ancestry build on the Lemba precedent, extending the narrative to other Limpopo groups. Malema, a Pedi from Seshego, is said to belong to a clan descended from ancient Israelite migrants. The evidence isn't genetic, but a mix of oral history, clan names, and proximity to the Lemba. Supporters argue that Malema is a variation of Lemba, changed over centuries through integration and language shifts. They point to shared customs and geographic closeness between the Pedi, Venda, and Lemba as signs of a common heritage. Rituals, harvest ceremonies, and ancestor veneration are cited as echoes of Jewish tradition. These claims are highly specific and not widely accepted by historians. The narrative connects dots that may be too far apart, extrapolating from the Lemba's proven case. For many, Malema's supposed lineage is symbolic, a way to give the Moshavi Revelation modern relevance and a public face. It transforms a niche theory into a topic of contemporary debate. The story's power lies in its ability to inspire, not in its proven accuracy. Mainstream historians and archaeologists are skeptical of the Moshavi Revelation and its claims about Malema. The Lemba case is unique due to genetic evidence, but similar proof is lacking for other groups. Scholars demand more than oral tradition or name similarities. They seek archaeological or textual evidence, which is absent here. Many cultural practices cited as Jewish have independent origins across Africa. Historians warn against assuming all cultural developments came from the Middle East, a view that can diminish Africa's own achievements. Oral histories are valuable, but dynamic, often shaped by later influences like missionary contact and biblical stories. The academic consensus, the Moshavi Revelation, is modern myth-making, not established fact. These stories matter for identity politics but don't rewrite African history. The burden of proof remains on those making extraordinary claims. Stories like the Moshavi Revelation resonate deeply in post-colonial Africa, where people seek to reclaim and redefine their history. Colonialism erased or belittled African pasts. Linking to ancient Israel offers a powerful counter-narrative. These stories provide a sense of belonging to a global saga, and reframe marginalized identities as noble lineages. For groups like the Lemba, shared ancestry fosters unity and resilience. Connecting a figure like Malema to this heritage gives the narrative political and cultural weight. Such stories unite communities, inspire pride, and offer a vision for the future. They answer existential questions: who are we? Where do we come from? In a rapidly changing world. A connection to an ancient past provides continuity and rootedness. Whether fact or belief, these narratives fulfill a deep human need for meaning. They make history a living, empowering force. The Moshavi Revelation and Malema's supposed ancestry are more than historical curiosities. They shape modern African discourse. Associating leaders with ancient origins can alter public perception, adding mystique and authority. These stories fuel debates about Pan-Africanism and challenge narrow definitions of African identity. They suggest Africa's history is a tapestry of migrations, not a monolith. Critics warn that emphasizing non-African origins can devalue indigenous history, echoing colonial biases. For groups like the Lemba, proven ancestry has fostered global connections and cultural exchange. Even unproven claims like the Moshavi Revelation tap into a desire for global belonging. These narratives inspire, mobilize, and shape political movements. Malema's supposed lineage can be woven into his platform, reframing economic liberation as reclaiming a lost inheritance. History here is not passive, it's a tool for shaping the present and future. The power of these stories lies in their ability to unite and inspire. The story of Julius Malema and the Moshavi Revelation sits at the crossroads of history, myth, and identity. Historians demand evidence, and by their standards the claim remains speculative. Yet the power of the narrative is undeniable. It offers pride, belonging, and a counter to colonial erasure. For many, these stories are about building community and finding meaning in the present, not just the past. The Lemba case shows that some oral traditions can contain real historical truth, revealed by science. This keeps hope alive for other lost histories waiting to be rediscovered. The significance of these claims lies in what they reveal about today's search for roots and identity. They highlight the universal human need for stories that give life meaning. The debate over Malema's ancestry reflects a global conversation about how we construct identity from history, memory, and myth. Ultimately, it's a testament to the enduring power of the past to shape who we are and who we aspire to be.